for the year.
Rodgers back, lofting left, touchdown, Pittsburgh Steelers!
Chris Boswell's extra point attempt is no good.
And now a field goal will win it for the Ravens.
4th down for the Ravens. 21 seconds remaining. Lamar takes the snap, lost the ball. It is caught by Isaiah Likely. We are down to the final play of the regular season.
And that kick is no good! No good! It's wide right! No he good! Missed it! Luke missed it! And your Pittsburgh Steelers are AFC North champions!
What a way to finish Week 18 last night. And in their first 7 seasons paired together, I guess I shouldn't say what a way for the Ravens. It didn't go their way, okay? John Harbaugh had a 70-24 regular season record when Lamar Jackson was the starting quarterback in those first 7 seasons. This season, Baltimore actually had a losing mark with Lamar under center, 6-7. And both the passing and rushing offense was down this season with Lamar than in years past. Harbaugh and Jackson spoke about what's next in Baltimore.
You feeling like you want another shot with these guys?
Yeah, I love these guys. I love these guys.
Do you want to see John remain the coach next year?
That's you asking me about next year, Jameson. Like, I'm so caught up in what just happened tonight. I can't focus on that right now. I just told you. Like, he asked me, "Are you stunned?" I'm stunned right now. I'm still trying to process what's going on. Like, I know we lost, but what the like, you know, that's all.
Oh, man. I mean, you just think about the way that game ended, and of course that's the emotion you would expect out of Lamar. Adam Schefter back with us now. And Schefter, Lamar didn't want to talk about it, but we can. What do we know about the future of Harbaugh in Baltimore?
Laura, there are going to be conversations that occur from both directions and both sides here. Listen, John Harbaugh is the 2nd most tenured coach in the National Football League. He's been in Baltimore for 18 seasons, 1 fewer than Mike Tomlin has been in Pittsburgh, the 19 seasons there with the Steelers. And when you're together for 18 straight seasons, and you have 3 straight seasons lose, where you have Zay Flowers drop the ball going across the goal line in the AFC Championship game, and Mark Andrews dropped a 2-point conversion last year, and Tyler Luke missed the field goal last night that would have won the division. When there are these close calls like that and disappointment abounds, there are going to be conversations between both sides about whether they want to move forward, how they'd like to change things, what they can do to move forward and get better. And so these are the conversations that we think will occur today and tomorrow. I do not expect that John Harbaugh is getting fired the way that some of these other coaches have. If there's a parting of the ways, it would be a mutual separation where John Harbaugh would have probably his choice of opportunities out there with other head coaching jobs. And so we have to see what the two sides figure out when they sit down today and tomorrow to come to some sort of decision about whether they want to move forward together or whether they want to go their own separate ways.
Yeah, unfortunately, Harbaugh 4-7 in the playoffs over the last 12 seasons since winning Super Bowl 47. Thanks to Adam. And listen, I think we can all agree we have a ton of respect on this show. A lot of people do for John Harbaugh. Sometimes it's just about looking at the situation holistically and figuring out what's next. Marcus, do you think Harbaugh is the right guy to lead the next iteration of this Ravens team?
No, and I will preface this by saying early in the year, I was fighting for John Harbaugh as far as being the coach. And this has nothing to do with an indictment on how good of a head coach he's been. That is for the obvious. But I always feel like we need to preface it by saying that. The reality of the Baltimore Ravens is they've been stuck in this spot where they get into the playoffs, so they have these one-game opportunities. They haven't been able to get it done. And I think that's going to be more of an indictment on the head coach. I think that's why you have these type of conversations. Early in the year when this team was banged up and they weren't winning games and they were fumbling at the end of games, I didn't put that on John Harbaugh. But I did want to wait until the end of the season. I wanted to wait even if they got into the playoffs to find out what type of performance that they would put together. I brought up that they have been a turnover-prone football team in the playoffs, seemingly unprepared from a play-calling standpoint when we talk about them being in the playoffs. And unfortunately, but fortunately, that falls on the head coach, because when it goes well, like it has for him before, we praise them and talk about how great they are. This is on John Harbaugh watch. The inability for this team to win games that they absolutely have to have. And I think that's going to be the conversation moving forward.
Yeah, NFL owners don't handle unmet expectations well.
Yeah.
This was the Super Bowl favorite. They're not in the playoffs. There's going to be some form of significant change. One, this team over the last 7 years has just lost too many big games when they were the team expected to win. You go back to Lamar's rookie season, the wild card game. You're the favorite, you lose. Divisional round the next year, you're the favorite, you lose. AFC Championship game a couple years ago, the Zay Flowers fumble, you're the favorite, you lose. Last year on the road, Buffalo, favorite, lose. And then obviously last night. I don't think this is an easy decision. Harbaugh is a fantastic coach. They've got an MVP, two-timer at quarterback. But I do think from the 30,000-foot view takeaway, there's been some organizations that have decided to fire their coach today that are good coaches.
Yeah.
And I think you're also going to run into thinking or finding you're not going to easily replace that coach you fired with a better coach. And I do think that's part of this for the Ravens is, are you really going to move on from Harbaugh? And if so, who are you getting that's better?
Like Harbaugh would be top of the list for a lot of these other places that now have vacancies.
He would be the number one list
yeah,
of every
so
team.
yeah, do you really want to let go of that guy? I mean, it's tough. It's a little bit of a pickle.
I mean, it tells you where this league is that we're having this discussion. We're having this discussion about a coach that 2 years ago was in the AFC Championship, a coach that was a 2-point conversion drop away from tying a game in the divisional playoffs and giving himself an opportunity to be in overtime with the quarterback and a team that was rolling. I get it. You know, you look at what Eric DaCosta did, putting together this defense. Adafe Owe was a miss. Namdi Madubuike gets hurt early on this season. You got to go out and get a Loie Gilman so you can try to figure out ways to use Kyle Hamilton for pressure and put him in the box to stop the run. There was so much that was going on with this team, and to me, the least of it is what Lamar Jackson is and what John Harbaugh is. Now, if you just want to go get the new thing because you feel like the old thing has run its course, then say that and go ahead and do that. But don't think that you're going to go get a better coach than John Harbaugh, because better coaches than John Harbaugh are not just on the street. They're in somebody's facility, somebody's building, coaching winning football teams.
That's well said. And you got to think that's going to be a big portion of the conversation that happens both with Harbaugh and also with the team. Adam said it'd be a two-way street. Still to come, the Eagles gave up a shot at their 2 seed.